Hey, what's going on, guys? Here we are into the new day, 664, about to be 665. I was just looking at the free thoughtproject.com. Um, Let me switch this over. Sorry. Uh oh. I had the wrong thing. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Do that again. Over here. Come on now. Here we go. I'll get it right. Okay. Now, we are back to looking at I was typing in Georgia code just to try to see what would come up here. I know I was telling you guys that Georgia was trying to pass a law to ban the display of Georgia law and how hard it was to find that article, and I could not recall exactly, um, you know, where that I first read that because I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I saw something, so I figured that I would try to find it, but it is not as easy as it may seem. So we'll go on to the 1983 and trying to understand, get um, a broader perspective on what's going on with various cases with police abuse. So here, this is a scholarly article here, and you've got it's the Wiley Online Library here. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of go on into the 1983 section down here. Those are in consent decrees, but those are like, from what I understand, just like little agreements that the Department of Justice makes with the agencies to just have them change their policies to do better. And one of the latest examples was the Ferguson thing, which was rejected. So it's like it gets into that and it tries to correlate. From what I understand, it gets into more specific stuff, but it tries to correlate the decrease in 1983 filings with some kind of decrease in the or some kind of correlation that's positive with these consent decrees from the Department of Justice. I don't like it. I don't think that is a good correlation to make at all. I think all the data is going to contradict. And what I would say is to that is that the 1983 forms are not something that the average person can afford to do or even know how to do. Let me tell you that a lot of the inmates, especially in the Clowns County, are not able to read very well. Okay, I recall reading a letter to a man whose father died, and it was very hard. I was able to read and I was able to help other people with some of their cases and making better decisions with, um, um, their public pretenders and so forth, so that when they came into the office with the public pretender, that they would be knowledgeable and armed with something. Hopefully, I mean, to those that would listen or that would come to me and try to look for advice, I would try to help them. And I mean, I was just doing my best. I mean, I'm not some lawyer, jailhouse lawyer, or anything like that. I wasn't filing anything. I mean, I was just basically requesting to have the law sent to me. And one of the letters, also an affidavit sent to me. But let's keep on going. Okay, Section 1983 litigation. 42 USC Section 1983 is primarily used to remedy violations of federally protected rights. The language of the Act originated in Section 1 of the Civil Rights Act of 1871, also known by several other names, including the Third Ku Klux Klan Act. The Civil Rights Act of 1871 was enacted to enforce the broad protections the 14th Amendment guarantees citizens. At the time, there were significant concerns that African Americans were not being protected from the actions of the Ku Klux Klan. According to the Act's legislative history, law enforcement was either unwilling or unable to enforce the laws against the Klan. Yet, despite these early shortcomings, several provisions of the 1871 Act remain relevant today, including the one now codified as 42 U.S.C. Section 1983. In the criminal justice context, any government actor operating under the color of law, state law, Robert Pachotti, Busby, Kenny Busby, Scott Goodwin, Chris Prine. I mean, okay, Chris, you were operating while these guys were operating. Well, I know Pachotti, and I know you were operating when all of those guys were operating. But actually, Paul, you were operating while Pachotti was operating, from what I understand. And I remember seeing an article about Pachotti having over 3,000 arrests back, what, 15 years ago or something. I read that, and I don't even know if you. I'd have to look. That was probably Valdosta Daily Times. I don't know if they kept it up. I'll have to double check that one. Maybe we can look at that. But can you imagine how many arrests somebody would have? And let me, you understand that the arrests is just what they charge you with. So let's say you get pulled over, they drag you out of the car because they think that they smell marijuana. Okay, then you get multiple charges. So they tell you to blow in a breathalyzer. You have aspartame gum in your mouth, or whatever, dentine or whatever, and you blow. Okay, so now you're getting charged with DUI. So now you're getting charged with driving under the influence of marijuana and also driving under the influence of, alcohol at this point. Both of those are arrests. So, and whether or not it doesn't matter whether or not you get it, if you get it dropped, they don't just magically disappear. That's what's really sick about all this, and that has got to change too. The victim of these situations, whether or not they get shot, completely dead to the world, and just gone, or they just get scraped a little bit, or they just get like completely, everything dropped, right? It does not go away. The victim still has to go and try to get that stuff removed by paying extra money to have it removed. It, there's a lot of things that need to change, and you have to be awake to these things. And I'm not trying to get too upset. It just is it's out of control. So we just have to do something about it. So I'm just going to mention these things, and we can address these things. You get a lot of you have, collectively have all the power. Collectively, you don't have anything to fear. If you are working around people that are doing illegal stuff, you need to do the best you can to get away. And if you know they're doing something illegal, I mean, obviously, you're going to get in trouble too. You have a big chance of getting in trouble, a really good chance. Um, and what about these guards that are turning keys inside these cells? You know what's going on in there. You guys know there's mold on the trays. You know that, and I told the local health department. So go screw yourself, local health department. What are you doing? Nothing. You didn't contact me. You didn't do anything about it because what? You're a bunch of cowards, a bunch of scumbags. You're all collectively trying to be a big pile of scum to see who can be the biggest pile of scum, and who can turn Lowndes County into the biggest pile of trash, and who can extort and suck the most money out of Lowndes County and just leave it completely sucked dry and torn to just trash. Just decimate everything, Langdale. Why don't you go ahead and cut everything down? And why don't you, Scruggs, why don't you go ahead and dig to the damn earth? Okay, get all the concrete, supply the whole entire world, and let's dig a giant freaking pit in Lowndes County. Just have it a freaking crater, okay? Let's do that. Let's make it look like straight hell. Hell on earth. Isn't that what you're trying to do? Hell on earth? So let's get back to this. Let's get back. Yet, despite these early shortcomings, several provisions of the 1871 Act remain relevant today. We got to 1983, and so basically, someone acting under the color of law, and it says discharging his or her official duties, which who violates a person's federally protected rights, usually constitutional rights. It's always constitutional rights. Usually, what other rights do you have that are not constitutional? I have no idea. See, there's some of these things, that, like I said, you already know this guy in this article is trying to correlate 1983s to whether or not the Department of Justice is effective or not. I mean, I'm just using this part right here to try to explain what a 1983 is basically, and I just wanted you to know that this is you're subject to litigation. You got Rigby, Vaughn and Coombs, Worrall, Zagrans, and it tells you all these. These are all cases here where people have acted under the color of state law, agencies, and violating the rights. And this is a across the board thing. We know that I am obviously not the only one. I'm just one of the ones who's able to speak out. Barely, guys. This is not easy at all. I am not playing games. I'm not trying to have fun. This is not something I chose to do. This isn't like, oh, well, I'm going to go try to just do something today to cause people to chase me, follow me. I'm going to try to get people to violate my rights and to lie about stuff to come after me. I'm going to try to do that. Let me just plan to do that. I don't know. I'm sorry I get off track, guys. This stuff makes me upset. I don't even want to look at this guy's stuff right here. I wanted you to know about the 1983. I wanted you to understand the blank check and understand what that means. You just get it. You got to understand there is a gray area with the interpretation of the garbage. Just as much as you get into religion, you can get into the interpretation where that's where all the nonsense is. And then you get to the straightforward text, and that's what it is to the bottom line, period. So I'm trying to think, today we're seeing a lot of disruptions across the country with morons burning effigies. I mean, I don't even know. Sometimes I look at this perspective of the global perspective of everything, and I wonder, where this all fits in everything. But I know that I am on a mission. I want to show you guys. I mentioned something to you guys. Um, Y'all get a little sneak peek. Actually, hold up. Y'all can get a little sneak peek. I told you that I found those meteorites, the 8 meteorites, and I was saying that, this is like how, that God can warn you about things and tell you things, but if you don't listen, then you're never going to hear anything. If you don't listen, you know, you'll just go on and on and on, and you will never realize, and that's, you're a privilege to be my friend if you see that. So, anyways, I'm just trying to show you what I found earlier. We are going to go to the timeline because I've just posted a whole bunch of stuff. There it goes. Oh, look at that. That's my number. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So I found these. And this is sea glass. I found these within 5 minutes of going out and looking. And, I just wanted you to see that because to me, that means something. To you, it might not mean anything. And a lot of people, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, oh, what are you talking about, Alan? That's ridiculous. There's no such thing as God. You're crazy. There's not some man in the sky, some guy in the clouds doing stuff. Trust me, I understand that. That's not who I believe. I believe in a creator God, the divine. I don't believe in, I try not to use terms like he. I was always raised to say he as masculine. However, I do not believe the creator God is necessarily masculine. I believe that God is combined of all things, and he is not, I say he, see? It's embedded. It's just embedded in everybody. The creator God. So this is what I wanted you guys to check out too. If anything happens, here you can go. Whenever you have the 1983 filing. Whenever you do this, you're going to need, eventually, you're going to go to court, and it's good to have what's called expert witnesses. Those who can get in front of the jury and convince anybody, and this is, just about convincing the jury, basically, that what happened was out of control and that is not with policy whatsoever. So, for instance, you would get an expert witness for forensics. Forensics for trying to determine impressions, fingerprints, DNA, and so forth. You would get those. But you also would get them for just fellow officers. I mean, you could find anybody who does stuff like that, and that is what you're going to find here. You're going to find that there are fellow officers, former officers, and investigators, private investigators that go undercover and will prove and shown many, many times within many different police departments that they are out of control. They will not let you file complaints. When they say that that you can file a complaint with the agency, you basically end up talking to one person, and it's like, it's brushed under the rug. So I'll just show you where to go, who to subscribe to. You need to subscribe to. Let me see what's going on. I think he's right here. Sergeant Don Jackson is what he goes by here. So this right here you can follow, and police abuse, and you will see that, like, for instance, I mean, there's cases where this guy he headbutted me, like this right here. This is ongoing. This poor guy, he's working on this right here. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna show you real quick, kind of the stuff that that we have to deal with. This. Let's see. I don't know if. Yeah. We can zoom in and stuff. But I just wanted to show you. See, like right here, he'll pause it, and this is an investigator. He goes over this. You watch this video right here. He headbutted me, quote unquote, by Sergeant Don Jackson, SGT. And you watch this, you'll understand like the analysis that is done there, and you'll get a glimpse of how police abuse can help you. And that's not the only thing. He's got different methods. He'll make a video for you. There's different options that you can have for your case. I mean, you might not need to have a video. You might not need to go undercover, but maybe you do. Maybe you want to prove that, hey, my police department, you want to show the world. You want to put it on public news. You want it to show up on your nightly news that your police department is out of control. You might want to call him. So, every person who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage of any state or territory or the District of Columbia, subjects or causes to be subject any citizen of the United States or other person within the jurisdiction thereof to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution and laws shall be liable to the party injured in an action at law, suit in equity, or other property proceedings for redress, except that in any action brought against a judicial officer. See, this is not, that is very, very specific. Wow, that's like the most specific, that I've ever read. But yeah, that's the U.S. Code right there. So, wow. But we get the point. Acting under color of law and violating your rights. Boom, that's it. Let's leave it at that. All right? Now, so let's just let's keep this one a little bit shorter. We've already been going for 15 minutes, 20 minutes now. So I really do want to start cutting these shorter. It's going too late. A lot of the people aren't even able to watch this live at all. So, I mean, the people that are interested in this are already asleep. So, the point of having this live chat is not really going to help right now. I just, obviously it's Saturday night, so we would you might get somebody. But basically, I just wanted to show you guys the 1983, and so we're just going to go step by step. You guys understand, you know, what is going on here. And I like how it just stays wide open for you. But anyways, whatever. Like 1983, um, let's remove and let's start over, or let's just refresh. I don't know why the heck it just stays like that. Google it just does what it wants to do sometimes, right? Or all the time. I'm trying to think what else we could look up real quick to make this more interesting, and I just want to tie everything together. We did the blank check, we did malicious prosecution. We understand that we fall under the category of, what is it? Not E, but not E 1 and 2, but F. So we fall under the F for failure of law enforcement at all. Enforcement. I mean, that word right there should tell you something. These people are out trying to enforce what you do with your own body. And that's why you can't ever get anybody out of the freaking jail. I might as well just type that in. Let's see what's going on at Lowndes County Jail now. All right. Not bailable. I didn't even look. I'm just going to go through the whole freaking thing because we didn't get to see all that stuff. I counted 23 that one day. There's 23 pages, and you guys couldn't see it that other day when I was doing it. I saw that. Not bailable. Okay, you know what? I'm going to keep this random. Watch this. How about this? There are 23 freaking pages. I'm just going to go to 10. So I'm going to do the first person on every page for 10 pages, and we're going to get an estimate of how many. That's just a random estimate. So you know it's random, I know it's random. I'm doing it in your face. Not bailable, page 1. That's 1. All right, I'm holding up one finger. Boom. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go to page. Make sure we're on page 1. All right, we're on page 1. There's 1. All right, page 2. There's 2. Page 3. Oh, we got a 5,000, so we're on 2. We got 2 out of 3. All right, let's go to 4. Let's make sure we're on. See, does it tell you what page? It's hard to tell you what the freaking page is. Okay. 2 out of 3. All right. 2 out of 4. All right. 3 out of 5. See, 3 out of 5. Let me see if you can. You guys can't see that color. My God, look at that blue. You can't even tell what you already clicked on. Page 6. Not bailable. 4 out of 6. 5 out of 7. There's a bond. 5 out of 8. I mean, 5 out of 8. Six out of 9. 7 out of 10. So what did I tell you? I told you that 80 to 90% of the jail would be freed up. I told you that. But just because it's not bailable doesn't mean that all of these 10 didn't have something to do. I'm just going to click on this guy here randomly. I don't know this person at all. But look, we got something crazy, child molestation, and that's crazy. Maybe he shouldn't be bailable, but maybe he should. I mean, who freaking knows, what exactly some of these charges are? I want to know. If I was a sheriff, I'd want to know what's going on in my freaking town. I mean, don't you? You want some guy who's got a business that that makes $3+ million a year. He's doing that business, and then he goes from sheriff to commissioner, and he's acting as his own regulator with his own businesses. I call that a tyrant. I call that an oligarchy. Because if you transition, you got one piece of crap to another piece of crap, and they both like each other, and they're both not against each other, and they're both helping each other, and you got the whole administration just sitting right there through the transition, not moving. Now, you have had some problems with lawsuits with Lowndes County. Why don't we just look at that? I know it's Sheriff. I think it's Polk. It was Polk and Pachote. Or wait, no. This one was about hiring practices. Lawsuit against Polk triggers resignation. This must be the wrong Polk. Or wait. That's what we need to have happen, right? Let me make sure I'm doing. See, I'm just acting like everybody. The whole world is Lowndes County, Clowns County. That's what happens, man. That's what it is. My whole world is that. Ashley Paul's Guardian Bank. We read that one. Guardian Bank sues. Crosby versus Polk. Drugs. See, that's why you always get these. You're going to get these lawsuits because of drugs every freaking time. Terry Griffin. Is he related to the Griffin in my case? So, this isn't the one that I was telling you guys about. This is, there's another lawsuit where it was the hiring. I probably should type in. Look at this. Sheriff Ashley Polk. Sheriff Ashley Polk. Sheriff Ashley Polk. Jail deaths by name and the causes. Crosby versus Polk. Sheriff Ashley 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 Polk. Let's just make a rhyme. Sheriff Ashley Polk. Sheriff Ashley Polk. Screws me all day. I love it. I want to pay. I mean, let's just make a stupid rhyme about it. Let's make a freaking song about it and dance. Just like we make songs about North Korea all freaking day. Let's make songs and movies about North Korea and how funny it is. And let's make movies about China, and let's make movies about, all this crap. Let's just make movies about it and do nothing about it. And let's turn into idiocracy, and then next thing you know, we're looking at you know what we're looking at? We're looking at this right here. I will show you. Bam. That's what you're looking at. Idiocracy. But that's why. Look there. Look. See that? Bam. That should be. Anyways, that is what it's all about right there. America. That's where you're at. That is where you're at. You're looking at that and you're just. That is what you're basically obsessed with. I think it's getting better though. I mean, the hip hop though is just. It's getting off into just la la land. I'm not following a lot of that stuff, but some of the stuff I do. So I'm doing what needs to be done. I'm not trying to play games. So this isn't about me and all this like some other people think it is. It's all about them. Yeah, I mean, see, let's look for more. Oh, boom. Okay, we got a child molestation. Okay, all right. I'll give you that. There's one. Now, what page was that? We don't know. So let's go back. Because it doesn't freaking show up. Because it's like, oh, there we go. So we're on 3. All right. Let's go back to 1. We know what this guy was. He wasn't bailable. That was the statutory All right, just hold for a blank county, for no county at all. They got a hold. See, you always have some kind of hold on somebody because they can't afford something, and you got something that you can't afford because you've got a dollar that basically has no actual value to it, and you're giving it to people, and you're printing it how you want to. You're not printing it according to. It's not printed according to actual value on the earth. It's printed to dominate and control you. I'm just randomly picking people, y'all. Bam. Violation of Georgia controlled substance. I'm just going to randomly put, boom. I don't give a damn. Violation of probation. Just clicking them. Random, bam, bam. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Oh, Second Amendment doesn't apply there. You know what? Oh, let me show you another stupid thing about Georgia. Or about every state. Doesn't matter. About these convicted felon crap. It is legal in the state of Georgia. It is. I don't know if I can find this case. I've got it. But if I can find it, it is legal for a felon, convicted felon defense, self-defense. Is legal. So if you have a firearm and you're a convicted felon, like in your premise, let's say for instance, you are in a location. Let's say you're in a store, right? All of a sudden something goes down, something crazy goes down, there's a fight, there's an attack, and somebody's trying to kill somebody, okay? Or trying to kill you, trying to kill your loved one, trying to kill another person, or trying to kill you, right? All right, so you find a weapon nearby in the location, wherever you're at, okay? You grab that weapon as a convicted felon and you defend yourself. That is legal. So you tell me, how can you have that legal at the same time it's illegal for the convicted felon to be in the proximity of a firearm? Because he's in constructive possession of the firearm. Convicted felon kills armed robber. Potentially avoids gun charge. Justifiable. He should not get charged. If he does, it's illegal as hell. And we should stand up for whoever did this. I remember one time there's I'm not up to date on so many names and articles and stuff because I spent so much time in the jail. But I mean, I've been out for a while, but it's just been nonstop fighting. But the guy who basically got in trouble for pulling out a firearm as a military veteran, as a military serviceman, outside of the recruiting office, can't defend himself against a terrorist and can't defend other citizens. That is insane. That's treason. We're not dealing with these people the way that we should be dealing with these people. Why are we even listening to Nancy Pelosi or John McCain at all? Why are we listening to John Kerry? Why are we listening to Hillary Clinton? They would be gone. These people are nothing. Look at them. They're frail. They're just garbage. Why are you even defending these people? Anybody who works around those people, who are you? You're accomplices. You're a big pile of scum. Whoever surrounds Hillary Clinton, you're all scum. I don't care what you listen to. I don't care. You think maybe you listen to me. You think maybe my beat's cool, or you think anybody else's beat's cool, or what I'm doing's cool. You're not cool. You're a piece of trash. Get the hell away from me. You guys are all scum. So you want to surround these scumbags. You're all collectively scum, so we're going to go to war with you. You like that? That's what we're going to do with you. We're going to handle you. We're not playing any more games. This is all going to pop off real soon. If you see a burning of an effigy of a soldier with a flag on it and it's just nothing's going down and it's just all okay and cops are defending it, where you're in the land of the free at that point. It's gonna be made free. And what's gonna happen to where we're gonna go to the Georgia Guidestones and we're gonna reassimilate and solidify humanitarian policy. what's going to happen to have those solid granite stones withstand whatever's coming to still be standing. I'll tell you what's coming. And I'll show you another place where I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. You got that. God help me. I'm trying my best to stay on track and to stay on point. But I just feel like that I'll make these too long and that you guys aren't going to listen to anything. So I know that there's people following me because you've been assigned to listen to me. I'm not stupid. I could say anything at the end of any of this or at the beginning or anything, and you guys are watching me. So what did you do? You guys that are watching me, who are you? Who are you defending? Ask yourself that. Who are you defending? Who are you trying to protect right now? You might be trying to protect me so I can follow through with this stuff and help make things better. But I can't help this. Let's do. Um, I've already got it. I don't even need to do that. We'll just. I'm going to leave that alone here. We got that. We got that. You know, America's Idiocracy. When I say idiocracy, this is what I mean, and I want you guys to watch that when you get a chance and laugh your butts off. But you can see right there. Don't look at that. This is definitely worth watching. That's not a very good picture there. But what I'm going to show you is what's coming. The Georgia Guidestones granite's going to stand. It's going to stand whenever what happens? What happens to us? That's going to stand and a lot of people are not going to stand. What's going to happen? I'll show you what's going to happen. And let me get this straight too. Jonathan Kleck, if you ever see any of my videos, I love you, brother, and I truly appreciate your work and hard diligence and compassion and Christ in you. I appreciate that you allowing Christ to work through you and listening, and it's beautiful. Thank you. With that said, that doesn't mean that I feel that everything that you say or do or propose is 100% on the money for sure. And I know that you know that that's not always the case too. So I haven't even got a chance to. I want to follow more, but let's go to the explanation here of what is going to come right here. Now, let's see. He made one. I just need to view all because that looks like that's it. See, heads up commercial section, but I'm sorry that, like I said, once again, I'm not like pulling. He goes over these commercials too. Let me get this clear. He'll go over like the Jaguar commercial. There's symbolism there. There's like, and I think that he might have missed something. I'll tell you right now, John. If you actually listen to this, I don't think I'll send this to you. But the 9 in the Jaguars, the 9 cars, that's symbolic, just as much as it is in the Lord of the Rings. So you can tie those two together. I'll give you a hint, so you can look down that alley if you watch this. But see, this is a commercial too that's really sick because it goes over the avocado and how it's like a embryo, and these people are feasting on it, and it's sick. Because like all the stuff that's come out with these children is really sick. Let's just go ahead and click on this one because I know that he's got. See, there's a commercial there. That's the Maserati one. He'll go over that, and he's showing you the symbology. And I wanted to show you. See these dollar bills. You got the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 100. Let's see. And the 100 has, let's see if we can click on all of them. And I know that he's got the website as well, but we've got, see, look at this. I'm just playing this so you guys can look how he folds them. See, you basically you take them long ways like this. Once you fold them in half, you fold the dollar bill in half like this, right? And then you twist it up. You twist it up like that, and then that's when you have this downward, you know, shape there. And that's what you see. You start seeing these shapes, and you can tell that this is not something that was just accidental. The way that this stuff, the way he's analyzing the different shades, and how the 50 used to have a closed section of the dam on the depiction here, and now it's overflowing. So before 9/11 happened, it was on the money. Before whatever's about to happen to us now, it's on the money. I'm on the money. You need to be on the money, and not the literal money. You need to be on the mon eye, the one eye. You need to have that open. And the way that you can do that, I can tell you right now, what did it for me, I don't give a dang what you guys say about Alex Jones, but he has done a lot of work, and I'll take you to two places. So if you don't like Alex Jones, I still want you to wake the hell up and decalcify your pineal gland. Look up the calcification of your pineal gland. So I'll take you to the Global Healing Center. Right here. This is the best on the freaking earth. This does not have alcohol in it. This is mined from pure, deep earth mineral sources, made in the United States. No animal testing, vegan, gluten. This stuff will change your entire life. Take it. I don't give it. You're not giving me any money. You see how I'm trying to give you something, give you a product. If you wanted to help me, what you could do is help yourself. You could basically do this, but you could also go to the CanaSense, and you could also go to the Presto Doctor. First thing you go to the Presto Doctor, you set it up. I would make like $10 off that. Once you do that and you help somebody else, then you would make $10 off of that for helping someone get signed up who needs cannabis and who doesn't need some. When they come off of work, and 90% of Americans are addicted to caffeine. About 90% of Americans consume caffeine in one form or another. Damn it. I'm sorry. Here we go. About 90% of Americans consume caffeine in one form or another every single day. Why do you get headaches? Why do you guys can't go to sleep? I've seen some of your posts on my Facebook, and I'm talking to the 90% of you. So that means 90% of you, 9 out of 10 of you listening to this right now, I'm talking to you because you're addicted to caffeine. How many people you know don't do caffeine at all? Just think in your mind, 1 out of 10 of your friends. Maybe worse than that. But oh yeah, let's look up what the half-life is, because I don't think nobody knows what the half-life is of caffeine. And how, look, one study some years ago showed that the half-life of caffeine in healthy adults is 5.7 hours. This means if you consume 200 milligrams of caffeine at midday, you would still have 100 milligrams in you at around 5:45 p.m. 100 milligrams still in you. So your heart's still racing, still trying to pump, still trying to break all this stuff down. And I take caffeine. I've taken it to a lesser degree. When I was a child, I know I used to drink a lot of Cokes and Mountain Dews and just horrible stuff. And that is what caused me to have a pineal gland that was slammed full of garbage and other organs in your body that acquire and accumulate heavy metals and toxins that need to be released. and removed from your body. So I'm sure it's probably right here. There's the new Z Shield here for the heavy metals and toxins there. He's got a lot of stuff here. The brain. I haven't even tried the brain force knockout. Obviously, I don't need that, and uh, but cannabis naturally stimulates melatonin naturally in your body. So you don't need, see, that's why I don't agree with this, because this right here has melatonin in it. So if you take that, then your body will stop making the melatonin as much because it's going to be relying on this now. So I use cannabis, which naturally uh, has your body increase the melatonin and have you get into a deep dreamlike state and deep sleep, REM sleep, rapid eye movement, REM. Survival shield is what I was just going to try to tell you. Get rid of this stuff in the bromine from the Mountain Dew is the reason why I just jumped over here real fast. That is Dr. Group's stuff as well. This is Alex Jones. You can get a really good deal here with Alex Jones because he's combining the products and so forth now, which is great. I'm glad he's doing that now. I think that's a good idea. I think making these combo deals and packs and stuff. I started the Info Warrior Fan Health. You guys are my close friends a long time ago, and I made the combo pack with the Tangy Tangerine 2.0, the Nascent Iodine, um, and the Osteo Effects. And technically, if you had a Tangy Tangerine 2.0 Beyond Longevities, it's Longevities Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. And I'll just show you so you can see. But you can purchase this from myself. I need to post more links, and I'll start doing that on a regular basis to where everybody can just get the links. I am a distributor. So, all that stuff about me being a distributor, yeah, I'm a distributor. You want me to prove it to you? I'll go to my 90 for life. This is what you do. my90forlife.com, and we're going to go Acon for a while. And there you go. So I'm not trying to. That's the healthy start pack. I highly recommend this, but uh, it's a great, excellent way to get started to getting on track. I mean, you can't really go much better. I'll tell you what I do though. I do both of these. I do Longevity, Beyond Osteo Effects, the Tangerine 2.0, and I also do the EFA, but I do hemp seed oil. So if you look at hemp seed oil and you look at what all comes in hemp seed oil compared to this is the fish oil, or they have the vegan, and it's the I'm sorry, the vegan EFA is flaxseed oil, and it's something else. But I know that flaxseed oil, I want to say, was involved with estrogen mimicking. Oh, I'm sorry, I put flax. Flax seeds contain phytoestrogens. They mimic estrogen, see? But not all phytoestrogens are the same. Hmm. I told y'all we would get into a lot of stuff. Holy, what in the world? It's not even letting me. It's trying to get me to click on something. I'm not going to do that. Let's get out of there. Whatever. I told you it did. It's there. Boom. So you don't want to throw off your hormones. A phytoestrogen is you're gonna be feminine. See, does that make any sense to you? You hopefully these things are starting to connect. And speaking of that, if you want to see a really pretty awesome science series, science television series that I had watched a long time ago. It's called Connections, and it's science show. It's with James Burke here. So he got 52 minutes there, but this is really cool. So I encourage, anybody seeking a really cool way to learn um, of science and history and tying it all together in connections. It's really cool. So I just, I'm tying everything together as much as I can here. Um, and I was telling you guys, what I take here, and I take the hemp seed oil instead of this. You can compare the omegas, the omega fatty acids in this and in your fish oil and so forth, and you can see that hemp seed oil is awesome. It's the answer to everything. Hemp is the answer to everything. The entire Ford car you should look up that was built out of hemp and ran off of hemp. So you should look it up, right? We should look it up. Ford car hemp. The soybean car. Holy crap. I think that one's it there. Collective evolution, yeah. 10 times stronger than steel. Look where we've come from, you guys. You got these people that have worked so hard to get us to this point, and this car was built to have what? To have it thrown in the trash and discarded forever in history and swept under the rug like the Roman Catholic Church did with a lot of stuff, and they're hoarding all the information in the Vatican. The Vatican doesn't hoarding everything because it's already pretty much out. It's got stuff in there. It's just a bunch of nonsense and a bunch of so-called secrets. The secret is that there is no secret. The suppression of this technology is largely due to the fact that hemp was outlawed in the United States in 1937 due to the potential damaging effect it would have on many powerful industries at the time. I highly recommend you check out the full story on how hemp became illegal to get a better understanding. According to Popular Mechanics, Henry Ford's first Model T was built to run on hemp gasoline, and the car itself was constructed from hemp. On his large estate, Ford was photographed among his hemp fields. The car, grown from the soil, had hemp plastic panels whose impact strength was 10 times stronger than steel. So, you'll know what my future car is going to be made out of. And you're going to, and see, that's what I'm striving to do as well. I'm going to push for hemp regulation, deregulation, elimination. Oh man! So you guys, it's time to call it quits for tonight. It's been probably the longest broadcast so far. So I'm glad that you endured with me, and I hope that you've learned something and you can take this with you, and we'll together collectively be walking to the court, and you guys will be right there with me. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention and loving and caring about yourself and me too. I love you guys because you got to care about yourself first before you can care about anybody else. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys again later on. Good evening.